was the boogeyman.
As a matter of fact, it was.
Please, for God's sake, please stop it. There's no more time. Stop it! Stop it! Stop it!
Do you know that I pray every night that he would escape?
What the hell do you do that for?
So I can kill him.
Well, Dax, Saturday, it was National Cinema Day, I think.
Oh, the $3 movies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, as you know, I've talked with you a lot about this. My dad, he's
Yes.
a lover of movies.
He's a family guy.
Yeah, you might say so. You might just say so. But he loves going to movies, but oh my God, does he have horrible taste? I don't mean to be mean, but
Yeah, that's fair. No, that's all. You can say that about most dads.
yeah. But I mean, especially mine. He's like one of those guys who like loves Adam Sandler and like
Yeah.
everything he does. He like loves Grown Ups.
Well, I remember you told me once that he just went and saw A Wrinkle in Time by himself.
yeah.
And that is so bizarre to me.
Especially because that's such a movie that no 40-year-old dad is gonna like.
Nope.
Like that seems like a young teen movie or something.
Yeah, like a young teen girl.
Yeah. So naturally, with the discounted movie rates, I saw a film with my dad this weekend.
Okay.
And we saw this movie called Invitation. I
Oh,
don't know if
I've
you've
heard
of
about
it.
that.
Oh, okay.
Not good?
No. Like this, it was like almost identical to the plot of Get Out, Jordan Peele's Get Out.
Okay.
But it was like, imagine Get Out, but what if at the end the twist is that the family that he's staying with are all werewolves and want to turn him into a werewolf?
Oh, cool. That's it?
No, but in the Invitation, it's literally the exact same setup because it's this person of color woman who lives in New York. All of her family is dead, and she goes to this like ancestry like website thing, and she finds out that she has long lost family from England.
Sure. Oh
So
no, I remember actually seeing the trailer for this.
Yeah,
I know what you're talking about. I thought it was vampires.
It is vampires, no, yeah.
Okay.
But I was just making like a
Oh, okay.
like a comparison. Like, what if Get Out had werewolves or something stupid?
But it's
like
just
that?
what if it was Get Out but vampires?
Right, yeah. And it was so bizarre because
It went like schlocky.
oh yeah. Because it was like the first half of the movie is literally Get Out. She goes into this all these white people, English people that are say they're her family.
Yeah, that's what I got from the trailer. It's like a fish out of water thing.
Yeah, and so she's there and she falls in love with like some guy that is like the owner of that mansion that she's in. And honestly, I thought that they were doing something like Get Out where it was like about a social issue. Where, because earlier in the movie she says something like, or the family says like, oh, we're all a bunch of guys, we don't have many women around. So I literally thought that they wanted to like keep her as like their sex slave, and they would all like have sex with her just to pump out babies and make pure bread of their family. That's literally what I thought was going to happen.
Yeah, like objectifying women.
Right. But then it just takes a turn. They're at the dinner table and they start drinking blood, and then their teeth come out and their fangs. And I'm like, what the fuck is this? Is this a vampire movie? It was so bizarre to me, and I was laughing so hard in theater.
I'm pretty sure that was the trailer because Carolina's like, have you seen the trailer for The Invitation? And I my first thought was that like 2015 movie.
Oh yeah, mine too. Which is actually a good movie.
It's a very good movie. It's a very good movie. And I was like, no, what are you? I'm like, why are you asking me if I saw the trailer for a movie that's like 7 years old? And she's like, no, like this is a vampire movie. And I was like, what are you talking about? Then she showed me it. And yeah, the trailer, I don't know if you saw the trailer, but it literally,
No.
I know the exact scene you're talking about because they show it in the trailer.
Oh, they do?
Yeah.
That's such a weird thing to put in the trailer because that was like the twist of the movie. That's so bizarre to me.
Yeah, no, the trailer was literally just like, it is very similar to Get Out where it's like, ooh, rich people, white people, weird.
Yeah.
And then it's like, oh, they're vampires.
Which I don't think this sounds bad on paper if it's like subverting your expectations. but like it was executed so boringly. Oh my god! And everybody in the movie is boring performance wise. The characters are boring and don't make sense.
It seemed
Like-
to me like it was Ready or Not, but with vampires.
That is literally what it was. Yeah. Do you want to know what happens at the end though? That's bizarre. That actually I did not see coming at all.
Give it to me.
So the whole point of the movie is that this guy vampire wants to make her his bride, right?
Yeah.
And you would think like the climax of the movie is her like doing something witty to not turn into a vampire,
Right.
but instead she just turns into a vampire.
Okay, so she just becomes a vampire.
Yeah, she becomes a vampire, and then they have an epic vampire battle at the end.
Cool.
It's so stupid.
That's almost how all blockbusters end now.
It was so lame. I can't describe how lame it was. Like it's one of those things that it's like so boring and bad.
Yeah. It's like not even fun bad.
No, even my dad walking out of that was like, "Oh yeah, that wasn't very good. That was kind of weird."
If the dad doesn't like it, then you know it's not good. That's how I know a movie's bad, is when my mom doesn't like a movie. Because she likes anything. So when she's like, that wasn't very good, I'm like, okay, that's a stinker right there.
Yeah, that's how you know it's really bad. Or there's something really depraved in it that she doesn't agree with.
And even then, she'll be like she watched Old Boy, and she's like, oh, it's pretty good.
Oh,
You
okay.
know? But she
Yeah.
watched that Knock Knock with Keanu Reeves. That movie where he
What
gets
the
like
fuck?
his house broken into and raped. She did not like that movie.
I don't know that movie. What the
It's
hell?
terrible.
That sounds so weird.
It's a terrible movie. On the subject of terrible movies, though, we are starting our dive into the Halloween franchise.
Oh yeah.
This was, I think, our plan. I want to say since day one of this podcast, around October.
Literally, yeah.
Yeah, we literally planned it, like, I think after we recorded the first episode, because we realized that the final Halloween is coming out this year, and it would be perfect. And one of our favorite pastimes is just talking about the Halloween sequels. I think every time we're together, whether it's in person or we're playing games, we always end up talking about them. And Loomis has entered like our inside joke since I think as long as I can remember.
Oh yeah, he's like so funny to me. It's
His exaggeration is so good.
I know. I'm of the opinion, like I'll get into our Halloween hot takes right now,
Yeah.
I guess. But I'm of the opinion that he only works in that first movie. Beyond
Yes.
that, he becomes like farcical.
Yes, he does.
Unless I guess besides the Rob Zombie ones, because I feel like I actually liked him in those.
No, yeah, he's much more of a character rather than a
Right.
caricature.
Yeah, exactly.
But so the plan is we're gonna watch all the Halloween. We're gonna report our thoughts, and we're gonna hopefully do all of this before the final one comes out. So we are going into this final movie seeing everything, and it's safe to say, I don't know about you, but I have seen every Halloween up to this point. So for me, this is like a rewatch. I've definitely
Oh,
seen
okay.
some more than others.
Yeah.
But I wanted to, but I think before we start, we're not going to really cover Halloween 1 because everything has been said about that movie.
Yeah.
But it's important to note, without the first Halloween, I feel the slasher genre wouldn't exist. It was after that you had like Friday the 13th, Nightmare on Elm Street, all these kind of, I wouldn't call them copycats, but like it's like the birth of a new genre.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's so weird because I feel like that was never the intention of the first
No.
Halloween.
No, it was not.
Like they literally just made a movie that they thought was spooky.
Yeah, and John Carpenter talks like he did not plan for it to be a franchise. And one thing to take note of, which is I think we forget because we are just in the world of franchises, is that franchises and sequels were not common back then. That was a new concept. So I think it's good. I think we should share our connection to the franchise, because
Sure.
I think if it wasn't for the original Halloween, I know for a fact I wouldn't be here right now talking about horror movies. because that's what got me into horror movies. I watched it at a very early age because my mom loved the movie. When when it came out, she actually saw it in the drive-in. I think she told me like 10 or 11 times.
Oh my god.
She loved it so much. Yeah.
Wow.
So when like I was like of age, I watched it. I mean, I watched like the TV version that didn't have like the nudity or swearing. But that was kind of like my introduction to horror, of seeing that at a very young age. And Michael has always like fascinated me. Like, I think he's such a compelling character.
Yeah.
And we've talked, I think almost every slasher movie we've covered, we almost always compare them to Michael Myers and what makes Michael Myers work.
I know. It's kind of sad.
But I mean, that just goes to show how prominent Halloween is.
Oh yeah. It's like monumental to the horror genre. It's hard to it's monumental in so many different ways. I mean, even Michael Myers, one of the greatest horror icons of all time. And then even the soundtrack of the film, the main Halloween theme, you don't even have to know about Michael Myers or the Halloween movie. When you hear that music, that main theme, you think of Halloween, like the holiday. Yeah.
And like, you immediately think, oh, Michael Myers is here.
Right, yeah. It immediately creeps you out. It's spine-chilling.
And I mean, that's just John Carpenter. Like, honestly, if John Carpenter didn't do the first Halloween, who knows what like the horror landscape would be like.
I know.
You know,
if he wasn't such a multi-talented guy that he could write and direct and do the music for one movie, like who knows where it would be now.
And like on a relatively low budget too.
Oh yeah. I read somewhere that the synths used for that movie are so bare bones and like for the time, and it's like they sound so good though. He does so much with that simplicity. It's like absolutely insane. I don't know about you, but like, I mean, Halloween is like super similar to what you went through, where it was like the first movie that I watched, horror movie really, that I absolutely loved. Like, I think the only other rated R horror movie I'd seen before I saw 1978 Halloween was Freddy vs. Jason.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and I really just saw that because of boobs. And I was like 13 and I wanted to see boobs.
Nice. Hell yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, it's like it's such a well-crafted film. Even now, I watched it the other day, and it's like every moment of that movie is so well calculated. Yeah. It's like, it's such if you want to know how to build up tension, like this is the movie, the perfect example of how to build up tension throughout an entire film, through everything, like the shots, the cinematography, the music, especially the performances. It's like it's such a perfect execution of an idea. Like I have very little bad things to say about it.
There's honestly like I can't think of a single bad thing to say about Halloween.
No, not at all.
However, we have a lot of bad things to say about the various sequels and spin-offs.
Yeah, unfortunately.
So let's get into our first kind of, I guess, movie. We started kind of Halloween 2. We rewatched Halloween 1. I mean, I watch that movie probably once a year. Like, that's like my go-to Halloween movie.
Yeah.
So I have that. I can tell you that entire movie scene for scene.
I pretty much can too at this point.
But I mean, that helps us kind of compare and contrast to the various sequels and all that. Because I think get ready to fight, because I feel like we are going to have a lot of different opinions.
Yeah.
And we're going to argue a lot, which is fun. I'm glad we actually have like a space to do this. We could just air out our feelings.
Well, arguing in a fun way.
No, I'm gonna hold it against you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, if you don't like the movie I like, I'm gonna be mad. No, but
you're gonna take it personally.
Yeah, I will. I won't sleep tonight.
Okay.
I'll be planning my next argument.
Oh no.
Well, let's get into Halloween 2. And before we kind of go into it, I wanted to kind of preface that I watched, the behind the scenes documentary on the box set. And this is a movie that I don't think should have been made. And no one making it believed it should have been made.
No, I agree with you wholeheartedly. It feels like that when you're watching it.
It's so funny because the producer was like, Halloween 1 made a bunch of money, right? We got to do it again. Mm-hmm. Okay. They were like, Carpenter, we need you to write and direct. And he's like, no. He was like, I only wrote one story. That's my story. I'm not making any more. But he wanted to do The Fog. And they were like, okay, hey, here, you write, do the score, supervise, you don't got to direct, and we'll give you the money to do The Fog. Carpenter agreed, got super drunk, wrote the script in one night, submitted it, and it's so funny. The director and the producer literally said, it's not a good script. They were like, this is so different from the original. They're like, this, like, you can see everything a mile away. Mm-hmm. There's no twists. You just predict everything that's going to happen. And it's just, they're just so honest about it. And it's so funny because the producer, when he was getting people to make this movie, he'd be like, hey, we're making Halloween 2. And they're like, what? It's like, yeah, like, you want to be in Halloween 2? And they're like, why are you making it? And he's like, well, like, it made money, so we're like going to do a sequel. And they're like, but the first movie is already perfect. Why would you ruin it?
Yeah.
And literally everyone in that documentary said the same thing. Like, the producer, director, everyone there, even the actors were like, yeah, we know the first one's a masterpiece. Let's just do our best, I guess.
At least everyone came home with a paycheck from it. Yeah, and that's kind of the like, mentality. And in a way I can respect that, because I feel like a lot of shitty horror sequels, the directors are really stuck up, like, oh, I think mine is better than the original. And stuff like that. Mm-hmm. Where Halloween 2, at least I feel, was just a very more straightforward, generic's not really a good word to use, but more like safe slasher sequel. Yeah. This, in my opinion, was it set a really bad precedent for all the future sequels. Like, I think this is where the Halloween's franchise problem originally started. And
that's when they introduced that Michael is immortal and must kill his family.
Oh, yeah.
With the curse.
It was that, and like how you're describing it's just a straight up, it's more of the same you got from the first one. Yeah. But not as well done, not as well directed. Mm-hmm. It's like, yeah, it really should not have been made at all.
Yeah. So what I think this part is done somewhat well, because I will say I like the opening of this movie, where it takes place immediately after 1. Yeah. And I guess the original script didn't call for that. But the director was like, no, I think it would be cool if we just picked up right where we left off, so you can watch the movies back to back.
Okay.
So they did it,
Yeah. I did cool. Like that aspect of it.
Yeah, I like that too. I just like Michael wounded walking through like the alleys. Mm-hmm. And stuff.
Which I also have to mention something. It's one of the most unintentionally funny parts of the movie for me, is that scene that takes place immediately after the end of the
Loomis?
First one. Well, it's not even. Well, Loomis is in the scene, but that's not what's funny about it. Okay. But when he sees Michael fallen, and then like he looks down and sees he's not there anymore, and he goes down to check on him.
I know. Yep.
There's like a Looney Tunes like imprint of his body in the grass.
Yep. Yeah. It looks like when they like fall from a big height and their outline slams into the ground.
Yeah, it's like
What
Because
is
his arms are just like straight out, and his legs
Yeah,
are
they're straight out. He's like T-posing. It's like he's making like a grass angel.
Yeah, it's hilarious.
My favorite scene from this is the immediately right after that when he goes down Loomis and sees there's like blood on the grass, and the neighbor comes out and he's like, "Hey, what's that noise? I've been trick-or-treated to death out here tonight." And then Loomis is just like, "You don't know what death is," and then runs away. That line is so funny to me.
I forgot about that. That was another funny moment.
And this is the movie, they even talked about that in the behind the scenes, is that this is the movie where Loomis just escalated to an insane person.
He literally did. Because it's like so not in line with where his character was at the ending of the first. He's like, right after that, he's like ranting and raving, like literally running around in the streets of that suburb. Like, he's somewhere right here!
He kills a kid.
You literally kill someone.
And they get away with it.
Yeah,
It's never
even
brought up
happens.
again.
God.
but for those that may have not seen Halloween 2, I guess the basic plot is it takes place after the first Halloween. Laurie Strode is sent to the hospital, and Michael goes to try to kill her, and that is the plot.
Yeah.
There's not
literally it.
I will give it credit. I do like when sequels do this, is it gets right to it. We get Michael right away. We get kills. And honestly, say what you want about this one. Of this timeline of Michael, this movie has the best kills.
Oh, yeah, I agree with you. Because there was a couple kills that I thought were actually really good.
Yeah.
Like the sauna kill.
Yeah, the sauna one. That's like the most memorable one.
Yeah, I love that one. The other one, isn't there like an eye poking scene?
Yeah,
in this?
the needle in the eye.
I like that one too. There's some fun stuff in this, like kill wise for sure.
Michael is much more mischievous in this one.
Like I don't know why I don't know what motivated Michael to like go behind that girl and like put his hand on her.
Yeah.
Like pretend like that was her boyfriend.
Yeah.
It's like, why is he doing that?
And he does that a little in the first movie, but that's just to like get closer.
Yeah, like there's at least some strategy there. For this, it just seems like he's
like rubbing her shoulder.
Yeah, it's like, why are you doing that?
Yeah, it's bizarre.
It really is.
Well, before we get into it, what are your thoughts on Halloween 2? Where does it fall for you?
Well, I mentioned earlier, it's like a masterclass of movie making in general. Like the score is incredible, the cinematography is incredible. All the shot planning and like putting Michael in the background of scenes. It's like it's so well done in building tension. And like the moment that Halloween 2 started, I watched this immediately after watching the first one.
Okay.
And like it did not carry that tension over at all.
Yeah.
I mean the first thing I noticed was the synths in the score sounded completely different and sounded like, I don't know, it just sounded not like Halloween music.
Yeah, it went much more techno.
Right, yeah. And it sounded techno-ish. And then also there's a lot of parts of the movie in 2 where there's no score at all.
Yeah, it's very quiet.
Right. And like I feel like that was such an essential building block of tension in the first one, was using the score and then the imagery together. And like there's so many scenes in this, especially early on, that just there's no score involved, and you're like, there's nothing like going on here. Like Michael just shows up in scenes. You don't even have a build up to anything. He'll just come out and kill someone. It's like it really does feel like it's very like workmanlike. Like there's no like eye for the shots. There's no eye for like tension building. It's just like done in a very boilerplate way.
It's just let's isolate this character. Michael kills him. Okay, let's isolate this next character. Michael kills them.
Yeah, like like I feel like it was such a missed opportunity, especially later in the movie when Laurie's like running through the hospital from him.
Yeah,
like those tight hallways of the hospital. It's like so claustrophobic. Like why not take more advantage of that and have Michael like have like creepy shots of him like down hallways or something like that. I don't know. So a more stylish look to the film than it was. Yeah, that's like my general take on it? I can get into more specifics, but what did you think?
So I've always been indifferent towards this one. When I was a kid and I watched it, I remember liking it. But I just liked Michael Myers, so that's all it needed.
Fair enough.
And then I was like, I don't really like Halloween 2, but I will say with this rewatch, I like it.
Okay.
I actually like the soundtrack a lot in this one. I like that there isn't audio for a lot of it, because this one has a definitely more sleepy feel. Yeah, which I really like. It's very quiet. It's very somber. And that is one of my favorite parts of Rob Zombie's Halloween 2. And I think to answer like your like desire to like utilize like a hospital really well is Rob Zombie does it in Halloween 2. Like Rob Zombie basically recreates Halloween 2 in the first like 20 minutes of the movie.
Oh yeah, like that beginning 20 minutes of Rob Zombie's Halloween 2 is better than the entirety of the actual Halloween 2.
Because he just knows what the audience wants. He's like, I'm gonna give it to him.
Right, yeah. And he takes advantage of that hospital setting. Just Rob Zombie has a lot better eye for setting up camera shots and stuff like that than this director, which I think we'll get more into about who he is and everything.
Right. But I don't know, I like the kills. I like Michael, though, his mask looks weird in this one.
Yeah, he looks goofy.
He looks goofy. It looks like they literally just went to like Spirit Halloween and opened a brand new Michael Myers mask and put it on him.
It does. It looks like that, and it's also looks like Michael went to like a vending machine and just like started eating like 20 candy bars and puffed his face out. And now the mask like barely fits. It looks like it's like stretching across his face. It doesn't look scary at all.
There's a really funny interview with the guy who played Michael in this one, Dick Warlock, where he was like, oh, like I was like pretty proud of my performance. You know, I would do the like everything and no one would say anything. And he didn't find out till later, Deborah Hill, like in like, not press tours, but just like talking about like in later interviews with Halloween 2. She was like, oh, he was not a good Michael. He didn't get the walk right. He didn't get the mannerisms right.
Wow.
And this dude was like, I asked him if that was good, and they said yeah. So what the hell?
Oh, that's like I feel bad for him.
He was he genuinely was like giving it his all.
The poor guy.
Yeah. But overall, I will say I like Halloween 2 a lot.
Okay. I mean, I can see why.
That's where I stand. But I've recently, with all the Halloween sequels and all that, the restarting of timelines, they do it like 4 or 5 different times. I have completely disconnected from the first film. I just watch them as their own thing. And to, I guess, preface that, the slasher is my favorite horror genre. I can say that for certain.
Yeah.
I love slashers. I love like giallos, all that kind of stuff. Because to me, that scares me the most. Because, you know, I don't believe like in ghosts and stuff and all that. Like, I don't believe in like supernaturals. While I like that stuff, it doesn't get to me like slashers do. And I think that's kind of why I personally connect more with slashers than other genres. I'm trying to say this nicely. Some Halloweens are a lot better at the slasher genre than others, and Halloween 2 is a better attempt.
Okay, I agree with that. It's definitely not the worst of the sequels.
It is definitely not worse, because it is just very straightforward, and I think that helps it a lot.
Oh, yeah. Like, yeah, if you're looking for this kind of more of the same, it's not terrible. It's really not. It's okay.
But this is where they introduce, like you said, a lot of the problems. Yeah. Which 4, 5, and 6 face. The major one being, this is the one, they don't necessarily make Michael immortal, but they hint at that curse that he has.
Oh, yeah. I didn't even realize that was what that was hinting at. That's so bizarre.
Yeah, because he like broke into the school
Yeah.
And there's that like picture of a family, and then he wrote the whatever.
Dude, yeah, I was wondering what the hell that was. I was like, what is
That
that?
never comes back in this movie.
No, they don't explain it at all.
But they bring it back in 4, 5, and 6.
Yeah, that's bizarre to me because it really feels like, because knowing that 3 is like its own thing and that they were basically trying to make it like an anthology series.
Yes.
It's so weird that they would like set up like that weird
yeah.
like rune thing when knowing that they wanted to end Michael Myers here. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, and this movie though did very well in the box office.
Oh god.
This movie was like a gamble for them, pretty much. And the 3 was an even bigger gamble.
Yeah, I bet.
But it paid off, so that's why you got 4, 5, and 6.
There's an appetite for Michael Myers, and they were just satisfying it.
Yeah, honestly, that's all it is. and in certain series, like I'm okay with that.
Mm-hmm.
Like I watch, like, you know, I'm a big Hatchet guy. I like Hatchet. I'm a Hatchet head.
Oh hell yeah!
I don't watch Hatchet for anything else but to see Victor Crowley kill people. And I'm not ashamed to say that. You know,
which is fair enough. I mean,
and the series never like lies to you like that. I don't know. It's very honest.
mm-hmm.
It knows it's not the smartest, but it knows it's fun. And I feel like if Halloween went down the route Friday the 13th did, it would have maybe been at least more interesting.
Oh, we're like are you talking about like a more focus on like the kills and the creativity of the kills? Okay.
Yes, because the later ones, I feel like they try to expand on Michael being like, oh, he's this all like superhuman and he has to kill his family because he has this curse. If they did that without being so self-serious, it might have paid off.
Yeah, I totally agree. I feel like they all take themselves way too seriously.
Yeah, Halloween is a gift and a curse, the first movie.
Mm-hmm.
Because without the success of the first movie, you wouldn't have all these others. However, they never wanted to, I feel like, steer away from that tone.
Yeah, that was the issue. They needed like something like relating it to another similar franchise, because there's 1,000 different sequels that we've talked about before. Texas Chainsaw Massacre was like that first one, gritty, horrifying. Second one, completely different direction.
Yes.
It almost turned into like a comedy.
Yep.
So I feel like if they tried doing that, it would have turned out a little better. So I agree with you. Like they needed to amp up the camp.
Yeah.
Like, have Michael Myers use like a flaming bow and arrow to kill people, like stuff like that.
Give Michael a gun.
Yeah, just give him a shotgun. Fuck it.
That'd be awesome.
Make him John Wick.
He's just taking out a high school.
Yeah. Oh no.
Like John Wick.
He's oh no.
That'd be awesome.
That would be pretty sick. I want to see that now.
Yeah, but Halloween 2 set up and ended, I guess, Michael's timeline for that. Yeah,
because I think they wanted Michael Myers to be done here at this movie, right?
Yeah,
they were
it was
like
a gamble even doing a sequel, but it did incredibly well. But yeah, and it's very interesting because the ending, and I think this goes to show kind of how much they respect the IP. It ends with Laurie driving away in the ambulance, and it like the final shot is like a cut of Michael's mask burning.
Mm-hmm.
The original ending, which is now the alternative ending, but this is the one that was supposed to be in the theatrical release that the director filmed, was as Laurie's driving away in that ambulance, there's like a body bag in there, and it lifts up, and you think it's Michael, right?
Uh-huh.
But it's that boyfriend that she had.
Oh, that would have been kind of cool.
It's like a fake scare, and then they're like, oh, I'm like glad you're alive and all that, and it's like a nice ending. They cut that from the movie without even telling the director.
That is so shitty. What the hell?
In the interview, he's like, to this day, no idea who did it. He's like, it could have been Universal, it could have been the production studio, it could have been blah, 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 blah. And he's like, no idea.
That is so sad. Wow.
Yeah. He didn't find out until he watched it at the premiere.
What?
Yeah.
Dude.
That guy who played the boyfriend was like, well, I guess I'm dead. Because he just slips and falls. He doesn't, like, die.
I know. And he just, like, passes out at the steering wheel, right? That's when we last see him?
Yeah.
It's like, what?
He gets, like, a concussion and then passes out, and that's it. Like, you never see Michael kill him or anything.
That would have been a much cooler ending, personally.
Yeah. I mean, you can look it up and see it.
Oh, it's out there?
It was at least on the Blu-ray I have, but I'm sure
cool.
someone's uploaded it. But one thing was interesting, and I think this goes into why Halloween 1 was so successful, and I think why we watched it at such a young age, was that when making Halloween, John Carpenter, in mind, did not want it to have a lot of, like, gore and violence.
Interesting.
He wanted to be basically like it was a theater experience. So they didn't want to risk it getting like X'd from the theaters. Which that resulted in a much more digestible horror movie for audiences. And they said going into Halloween 2, they wanted to do that same thing. The problem is the market was already starting to get saturated with gore. And that was becoming the main focus. So they were trying to find a good divide between the two. Because Halloween 2, it's bloody, but I wouldn't say it's that gory.
No, yeah. The kills, some of the kills are gnarly, but like they don't really show a whole lot of blood and guts.
Yeah, like one girl gets dipped in boiling water.
Yeah.
Which is brutal. One girl gets stabbed in the eye of a needle. Which I'm not sure if that'll necessarily kill you on the spot like it did, but but yeah, it's not necessarily gory. But they really struggled with that. Like they didn't know which direction to take it. Like, should we go clean or should we go super gory?
That I can kind of see that struggle within the film, because it definitely feels like it wanted to go gory, but it was just like restraining itself just before it went a little too far. Especially that eye scene. I really wish it showed more of like the needle piercing the eye or something.
It's very funny because Michael, the guy, was it Dick Warlock, which is an awesome name, by the way. Who plays Michael, was actually the safety coordinator for the movie as well. He was the stunt guy.
Oh my God.
Literally, he got the job. He was interviewing for the stunt guy. He was in the waiting room, saw the Michael mask, put it on, and when they called him in, he just like looked through the window of the door and stood there. And then took the mask off, laughed about it, did the interview, and he's like, hey, could I play this guy? Literally, John Carpenter and Deborah Hill were like, sure. And just gave it to him.
I like how he's that casual about it.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, it's fine. We saw you for like 2 seconds with the mask on. That's okay.
Yeah, sure. Why not?
Might as well.
But he was the safety coordinator, so he was the one, he said it was very hard because he was the one doing the stunts, right? He was the one putting the actors and actresses in danger.
Oh.
So he had to like control it, but he said he really disagreed with the eye scene. He thought it was way too mean. But the writers were like, no, we gotta have it.
I agree, because that would make it more boring if they did something else where he just like stabbed them normally or something.
Yeah, it's really tough to watch.
Oh yeah, I think so for sure.
I think the last like funny thing that I got from the documentary was that they filmed in an actual abandoned hospital. However, the hospital was next to an airport. So they said every 6 minutes a plane would either land or take off. So it was impossible to shoot anything because the audio. So they literally had to have a guy with binoculars on the roof of the hospital with walkies telling them when they're safe to record, and they knew they only had 6 minutes to do each scene. They said it was a nightmare.
That sounds horrible.
Yeah. But they already like got the location and stuff, so they just stuck it out.
Wow. Man, they're troopers. They really tried to get this movie done, huh?
Yeah. And really the whole vibe of this was like, we know we're not making a masterpiece. We can't beat the first one, but let's just do our best. That was it.
I can respect that.
I respect that.
It's a shame because I feel like you probably could have done more with the Halloween sequel. Like, I kind of wish John Carpenter cared a little more about the script.
Yeah.
Because I feel like with a better script, like this acting is competent. Like the directing and acting is very competent in this movie. I feel like if at a foundational level, if you had a better script, like this would be a much less boring movie. At least I don't know.
Yeah, it's just so straightforward.
Yeah, there's
That's
nothing.
the problem.
Yeah, nothing too new other than the Michael and Laurie sibling connection thing.
Yeah.
Which doesn't need to be there at all.
Yeah. It's like, just find a way to get him to the hospital. Like kind of like what they did in the 2018 one.
Right. Yeah, like that. The 2018 one did it right. Because I always got that impression from the first one that Michael was never really targeting Laurie.
No, he was just going. He's like,
Right.
oh, I know you. I guess I could kill you.
Yeah, he was just like killing people that were like around.
And when you watch the first Halloween, that is also very clear, too.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Like Laurie
absolutely.
just is unfortunately there, and she just puts up a fight, unlike anyone else.
And to me, like the whole sibling connection thing, it ruins the mystique of Michael Myers.
Yeah.
Because like Michael Myers is scary to me because like he represents like the evil in the world, like uncontrollable,
like pure evil.
Right. Like you could in the middle of the night have just some guy come up off the street and do a home invasion on you, and like that's
Just kill you for no reason.
That's what is so scary about Michael. He has you can't reason with him. He's just gonna do what he wants to. He like acts on like animal instinct, basically.
Yeah,
Like
he's like a predator.
Right. And adding that familial connection thing and implying that he's after her because of that is like makes it a lot less scary and like less like mysterious.
And if that's the case, why did he kill everyone else?
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
That's my thing. It's stupid.
If Michael really wanted to just kill his sister, he would like plan it, go buy a handgun.
Oh
You
yeah.
know, take classes,
Oh no.
shoot Laurie in the head, and then be like, okay, cool. I did my duty, I guess.
You get her sniper style with the sniper
Yeah.
rifle.
Yeah, he does like a JFK assassination or something on her.
Yeah, sure.
That'd be awesome. I just like the idea of Michael with a gun.
I do too. I want to see a movie where like Michael he gets recruited by like a James Bond like Secret Service
Oh my
agency type
God.
thing.
The CIA
like-
recruits him.
Yeah, and they like teach him to like talk and they rehabilitate him.
Oh my God.
But they also use him as a killing machine for
As a weapon?
their missions. Yeah, that'd be badass.
Hell yeah.
Make Michael Myers the new James Bond. Daniel Craig died. Time to get him in there.
Yeah, just get Michael Myers.
Yeah, sure.
That's even like, they don't even like list the actor playing Michael Myers, just Michael Myers as James Bond.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I mean, Halloween 2, I think I like it. You sound not too convinced.
I think it's
okay.
I like it more. I dislike it mostly because of what I dislike it more because of what it kind of set the standard for the franchise from there on out. Like you just need Michael to be there and kill people in really boring ways. Not exciting. There's nothing too cartoony or like cool about it. And it's a very self-serious script. Like
Yeah.
That I mostly just like it for what it did, the ripple effect it caused, I guess.
Also, I noticed on this rewatch is, whenever Michael killed someone, does that really high pitched like note?
Yeah, that was annoying as fuck.
That is used for like 4, 5, and 6 every time.
Oh,
it started that. It just hit me on this watch.
I can't. I am not looking forward to watching those, but I am at the same time.
Is this gonna ruin Michael Myers for you, like it did Texas Chainsaw?
No, because I feel like I've already I've already rationalized the horribleness of the Halloween sequels in my head.
Yeah.
I'm good at disassociating enough that I can just like the first one and pretend like that's the only one that exists.
That's the only one that matters. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you can get away from Michael for a little bit so we can talk about Halloween 3, the Season of the Witch.
Yes. This one is a lot better, in my opinion.
Yes. For those that don't know, Halloween 3 does not have Michael Myers. This was when their plan was to take the Halloween franchise to a kind of like anthology route of just every year a Halloween movie comes out and it's a different story.
Mm-hmm.
And this one was that a crazy Irishman develops masks that children wear, and on Halloween night they're activated to release snakes and bugs from their masks and kill everyone.
Yeah.
It's a supervillain plan.
It kind of is, yeah.
And I will say right out the bat, I love this movie.
Oh yeah, I think this is a good movie. I don't know if I love it.
I love it.
I like it.
It's goofy.
Yeah,
and
very goofy.
I like it because it has like TV movie Halloween vibes. Like it is like the villain is so insane. The plan doesn't make sense. It's set on Halloween and it has those Halloween feels. It's a very good movie to watch like on Halloween.
This is a great Halloweeny movie. I always think that like I always kind of want to watch it every year because it's so Halloweeny to me just because of all the trick-or-treaters that are in this.
Yep, and the masks
and that earworm song. Oh my god,
yeah.
That song is so fucking catchy.
Carolina actually watched this one with me, and she hated that song.
Really?
Every time it came on, she's like, "Oh my god!" She was like getting so mad. Yeah, I really like. There's a really cool shot of like it's showing all the kids like on Halloween night trick or treating, and they do that like silhouette of like the kids in like the outlined costumes, and it looks so good.
Yeah, that's a shot I was thinking of. That's one of my favorite shots of that movie. Like this one, I don't know anything about this director, Tommy Lee Wallace, but this one compared to Halloween 2, oh my god, so much more of a vision and a style for the movie than Halloween 2 had. It's like it's such a it's just a huge difference, and the soundtrack as well works a lot better.
It's a bop. And this one I feel like is very divisive amongst the Halloween fans.
Yeah,
people are like, people are dumb people. I'll say it right now. I'll make enemies. Or like, it doesn't have Michael Myers, so it's not a Halloween movie. It's bad because it does not have Michael Myers.
Can I talk about that section of the fan base of Halloween?
Go for it.
They are so terrible. They are like, they literally, like with this new trilogy that's coming out, they want Michael to win and kill Laurie at the end because they don't want to see Michael die.
That's so bizarre to me.
I know, and like it's like they think I've seen a lot of them describe Michael as the main character, which I guess he kind of is. But when you say main character, that means like
it's
you're
like he's the protagonist.
Yeah,
that's like watching all of The Sopranos and going, "Yeah, I want to be like Tony."
He's just a nice family man. He does things for his family.
Yeah, he does good things. He provides for his family. Yeah. It's so bizarre. Well, audiences at the time had that same reaction.
Yeah.
When this came out, it had very low, both critical and audience reception. One thing like the critics were really hounding, which I think is so funny, is how anti-Irish it is. Because it's the Lucky
with the
Shamrock, and they're
yeah.
like, he's like from Ireland.
Yeah, that I can see. I guess I see that. And is Stonehenge?
The Stonehenge.
Is that in Ireland?
I don't know. It's somewhere. But the point is, Conall Cochran stole a piece of the Stonehenge to turn all children's head into goop and emit snakes and bugs to kill their parents. And that is the best Halloween plan I've ever heard.
It is. Well, and it's such a cool visual.
It is.
That scene where they're testing it is
the kid.
Yeah, it's horrifying.
Yeah, and the way the kid just like shakes and falls to the ground, and there's just like clearly like bugs coming out of his mouth.
Oh god, yeah. The part that always grosses me out is that part where the snake comes out of his mouth. Yeah. And it's like, oh Lord, that's terrifying. You don't even really know how he died.
No, I assume just his head filled with snakes.
Yeah, that's what you left to assume, I guess. It's so bizarre and creepy looking.
Well, and of course, audiences were very put off by no Michael Myers. They didn't expect that at all. They just thought Halloween 3, oh, Michael Myers. And I mean, now you can get away with that, I feel, because information is just everywhere about everything. But back then, I feel like if you didn't seek out, like I don't know when you would see a trailer. To be honest, I genuinely don't know. I mean, I assume maybe they'd be on TV.
They would. I would assume most of them you'd see in the theater when you're watching another movie.
Like Halloween was so popular that you just assume, like we said, you just associate Michael Myers.
Right.
So audiences did not like that at all. Also, this one is very nihilistic in its ending and its themes, which people did not like. It did not have a happy ending, but I think it has a really good and powerful ending.
Oh yeah, I think it definitely felt like they were trying to make this comparable to the ending of the first one.
Yes.
Where it's like a creepy like stinger that'll stick with you.
And you don't know what happened.
Right.
But just the way, and like the acting is really good. When he's just like, it's on channel 3, turn it off. And he's like screaming.
Yeah.
As it's playing like the little music sting.
And it's so well edited together too. Because like, it's like cutting between him, the TV, and the kids in the room that are like mindlessly like trick-or-treating.
They're like it'll go off and then they turn the channel.
Yeah.
And the fact that like he's just like, you have no reason to believe me, but please believe me. Like he's like, no, I don't have evidence. You just have to do it.
I know, he's just so desperate at that point.
Yeah, it's like so desperate. It's like sad.
It really is. It's such a cool ending. It's like, I don't love this movie, but I love the ending of it. It's so cool.
But people did not like the ending back in the early 80s. They thought it was anti-capitalist, which it very much is.
Oh, yeah.
And I think one of my favorite, they described as anti-children.
Really? How is it anti-children?
Because children are mindlessly going around and, I don't know, having fun. I guess to show that like kids are stupid. I don't know.
Oh. And maybe, because it's like punishing them because it kills the kids. I could see them doing
Have you ever seen that, like, it was like a show from like the 90s or something, and it had like kids reviewing movies, and they were reviewing the Batman with like the Penguin. And he's just like, this movie is just anti-kids. The toys hurt people. It's really funny.
They don't want a bile-spitting penguin?
No, no. The kids did not like it.
Don't blame them.
And it's so funny because like they were like, it's so violent. It doesn't need to be so violent. And then like literally the next clip is the kid talking about how much he loves like Terminator. Or something like that. Yeah, I think it was Terminator.
That's hilarious.
Which is way more violent.
Oh yeah, like 100 times more violent.
Yeah, but they did not like Halloween 3. It was very low. Even to this day, if you look at the like scores, it's very like low.
Yeah, it does not deserve, in my opinion,
No.
to be rated that low. It's definitely the most underrated Halloween sequel.
My biggest complaint, and I think it is a complaint of everyone that even likes the movie, is the romance.
Oh God, yeah, that is, it's such a huge negative for the movie.
And it makes your character so unlikable.
Oh my God, yeah.
Because he's cheating. I didn't catch it like early on my other rewatches, but this one I know is like he is like a womanizer.
Oh yeah,
Like-
he's hitting on like every woman he comes into contact
And he
with.
clearly is cheating on his wife with the morgue lady.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, and he immediately is just like hounding over this very young woman. and like it's almost like a porn intro. And like when they first have sex. She's like, "Where do you want to sleep, doctor?"
Yeah.
He's like, "What kind of stupid question is that?" And then they just start making out.
I bet she loved that mustache, the giant mustache he's got.
Ugh.
Yummy.
And then he's like, "Oh, my bitch wife is calling."
Yeah,
like
I can't talk to her right now. I gotta go to Pound Town and this 18-year-old I just met.
yeah, and like the guy like is a complete dick to his wife, cheats on her. She probably knows he's cheating on her, and then calls her. And he's like, "You got to get the kids away from the TV. Why aren't you listening to me, woman?"
He's so rude to her for no reason.
Yeah, he's so mean. Like when you first watch it, you think they're like divorced.
Yeah, that's what I thought too. It's so
But they're
confusing.
like together. I don't know if at the time that was just in style or they thought that was cool.
It's a very boomer movie.
Yeah, and it's even shot to make the wife sound like the annoying one.
Oh yeah, yeah. You're definitely meant to think that. It's sad.
Yeah, it's very, that part did not age well.
No, not at all. I think it would have been more interesting just to, from a story perspective and like doing things you wouldn't expect, just like have them be friends. Like why
team up?
Right. They don't have to like fuck.
He's invested because his patient died on his watch.
Mm-hmm.
She's invested because that's her dad. Boom.
Yeah, exactly. That's all you need. I was even thinking like another one of my issues with the movie as well is that I just don't see why he would be so motivated to go after whatever killed him.
Yeah.
And I was thinking even making that guy that died his friend or something, like someone he knew.
Right.
And then like maybe he hasn't met his daughter and he's only heard about her, and then he finally gets to meet her and both of them team up and don't have sex. And they figure out the mystery.
That's the main takeaway. Just don't have sex.
Yes, please no. It's creepy to see a 50-year-old dude like having sex with a 20-year-old. It's just not a good look.
Yeah, especially a 20-year-old who literally lost her father a few days before.
Yeah, it's so weird. Talk about daddy issues. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Can we talk about the twist with her?
Oh, yeah, where they turn her into spoilers.
Yeah.
They turn her into a robot?
This is my question. Was she a robot the whole time?
No, I think that was like when they captured her.
Oh,
But
then they turned
here's
her
the
into
thing. Either way you look at it, it falls apart. Because if they captured her and turned her into a robot, why would she help him stop?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Why would she help him stop the whole plan just to then attack him after they defeated the big bad guy?
And also why like they destroy all the computers and then those robots that were coming up the stairs like all die, right? And you assume because the computer was destroyed then they can't function anymore. But why the hell is she still working and like going too?
These are questions that are not meant for us mortals to answer.
Apparently not.
Just have faith in Connell Cochran's plan.
That felt like such an unneeded twist.
Yeah, I think they just wanted to add a little last sting.
I guess, yeah.
And the fight goes on for so long.
Oh my god, yeah, I wanted to mention that too. It's like you think it's over like 6 times and it goes on for another like 10 minutes, it feels like.
Yeah. Yeah, it would have been a lot better if just him driving, you know?
Oh yeah.
Maybe she dies or whatever. Maybe she gets revenge, but she gets taken out. I don't know, just something.
I was even thinking like it would be like really tragic if like what if he rescued the robot one and then he left the real one back there to get burned alive in the factory and he realizes afterward and he's like heartbroken.
That's even more nihilistic.
I know. Yeah. That's like the very mean ending, which I don't think this guy deserves, but maybe he does because he's creepy weirdo. I don't know.
He's a weirdo. But I don't think he deserves every child's life. He's to blame for that.
No.
But I also want to talk about Connell Cochran because I feel like he's the main force. And all of his G-men. His weird suit robot people that are awesome.
I love those guys.
Yeah, and like it's so interesting because this movie, you really don't know their deal.
No.
Like once, like especially after like they kill the guy in the hospital, and he just immediately lights himself on fire and blows up.
Yeah. It's such an effective scene too.
It is. It's very hard to watch.
Yeah, it really like gets it's hard to watch, and then it also is like starts that mystery going.
Yeah.
Like, what the hell is going on here? Like, what do these masks have to do with it?
Yeah, because you have no idea. You just know he's holding a mask.
Right. Yeah, that's literally it.
Yeah, it's very well done, and I just love how goofy the plan is.
Yeah.
Like, and even they're like, "What's the point?" And he's just like, "It's a joke." That's why. And then he's like, "Oh, but like actually power, but like yeah, you know,
it's just fun.
It's just fun. I'm a prankster. It's the ultimate prank."
I also was thinking during this too, like, because this is not a perfect movie.
No.
Like, there could be a lot different about it. Like, and you know how people always say, like, they should remake, like, movies that maybe were not realized to their full potential? Right. Like, why not remake this one? Honestly.
Yes. I would love to see a modern one of this.
Like, get rid of all the weird love-making crap. Make either character more likable, not that he hates his wife. Like, because there's some great ideas, and like one of the things that I really like about this movie are the themes of like it being anti-capitalist, like showing like Cochran being like this guy that everyone praises in town because he has all this money and he owns a company,
but he does terrible things.
Right, and he doesn't even care about any of them. He only cares about them as much as they can sell. Yeah,
like once they're not useful to him, he's done.
Yeah, it's over.
He doesn't need them.
And he's actively selling things that are damaging to the population. Like a lot like modern companies are like selling like food, processed food.
Right.
Like candy, sugar. It's like all that shit. People don't think about it as much, but that shit will kill you. Like,
oh yeah, it's terrible.
And they don't care. They only want to make money.
They
and I feel like
they care about the bottom line.
Right. And I felt like this Cochran character and his company with the mask was like a perfect like allegory for that. I think especially with the social awareness about companies and capitalism and billionaires now, like this could be a really powerful movie. Good. You know?
Yeah, and I mean that's what I kind of wanted to close off on, is that was as bizarre as it is to say, was Halloween 3 ahead of its time?
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
I believe so.
Yeah.
I mean, it also kind of predicted like automation and sort of like a robotic future and mass production of like resources, goods, whatever, services, because it really does capture the fact that like the company does not care. You know?
Yeah.
I don't care how many times a brand tells me they're a family company and I'm more important. I know. You know? You know?
Yeah.
Like, Apple can say whatever they want about how good they are. It doesn't change the fact that they have, like, sweatshops. They make their phones.
Yeah, exactly. As long as they can make that money. That's all they care about.
Like, as long as their profits are up, That's all they care about.
Yeah.
And I feel like that is the main theme of this one.
Oh yeah.
And I think it also shows, like, kind of how you said, just how blind people are to it.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah,
I mean,
all
you
the
also,
salespeople, like they were just like lapping him up, like
yeah,
not
they're
even
like, oh,
thinking.
isn't he the best? And all that, yeah.
And then
The whole
later he
town.
puts your kid in a room and kills him.
And kills you
Yeah.
with him.
Yeah.
But I think the masks also sort of represent this sort of like moral shift in America, where you know, typically like you wear a mask because maybe you're not comfortable with yourself, or you want to sort of be something you're not. And in the sense of Halloween, you know, it's kind of like a representation of the world is getting scarier. I'm putting on this mask so I can like join in on that.
Oh, that's interesting. I didn't even think about that.
So, and it's like the kids taking apart in like Halloween, the tradition and all that. Sort of like you're shifting to, and I mean, I guess you could even say this about Halloween, where like this horror is big right now, you know? Violence sells, all that kind of stuff. And the kids are gravitating towards that. And I think that's maybe where like the anti-children critiques go in.
That makes more sense. That
But I
makes
don't
a
think
lot
it's
more
wrong.
sense. No.
You know, I think it's very valid.
It is.
Honestly, I agree with Connell Cochran. We need to go back to Halloween, how it was 3,000 years ago, with pagan stuff.
Okay, well, that was my question. Why the fuck is this movie subtitled Season of the Witch?
Because he wanted to. Basically, back then for Halloween, the witches would do their rituals and stuff to like fend away the spirits, and he wants to bring that back.
Oh, I see. Oh, okay.
He's like, we need to make sacrifices to the gods because we haven't been doing that, and I'm gonna do it, which is awesome.
Yeah.
Also, it's a prank.
He's just doing it for the laughs. My favorite part of him is like that one scene when he's about to die. And he's just smiling at them, like
Yeah, like they pranked him. He's like, good one.
yeah, he's like, all right, fair enough.
Yeah, you got me. And then he gets blasted by the Stonehenge and turns into dust.
Yeah, they're into a marshmallow man and explodes.
Yeah, it's awesome. Yeah, Halloween 3, I like it a lot. Carolina even liked it, and I told her, I'm like, you're gonna like this movie, watch it.
Mm-hmm.
It's just fun.
It's a shame she didn't like that earworm song.
Yeah, weird. Wonder why. But it almost does make me wish that Halloween did kind of go down this route.
Yeah.
Of different stories.
It just all feels so futile. We're all in this capitalistic grind machine in Hollywood.
Yeah.
Depressing.
Yeah, unfortunately, capitalism destroys creativity. But hey, you know what? Tommy Lee Wallace tried to warn us that with Halloween 3.
He did, and we did not listen.
And we did not listen. No one respected Halloween.
No one went to see it, and the critics actively did not like it.
Soon I'm going to upload my 3-hour video. You were wrong about Halloween 3.
It's coming.
Yeah.
It's coming, folks.
Well, I think that concludes our thoughts on 2 and 3. I think we're at, unfortunately, the top. And it's only going to go down.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to all the Loomis.
Oh, man, I cannot wait for 4, 5, and 6.
Loomis is so funny to me.
He goes insane in these next movies.
Yeah, and it's so funny because, like, Donald Pleasance, like, they were talking about that. They're like, Donald Pleasance just brings his A game to everything, no matter what the role is. He will go hard. And that's maybe one of the better parts of Halloween 2 is seeing him as a madman. We need a Loomis. If I don't get a Loomis in the last Halloween, I want them to just introduce him now. Fuck it. I was his secret therapist because they knew how evil he was.
Oh my god.
I was hired by the U.S. government to recruit him for the CIA.
Oh no. This is where we can tie in that he becomes a secret agent, Michael Myers.
I have a month to send him to Ukraine. I gotta train him up.
No. They drop him in like the Hulk from like an airplane.
Yeah.
And he like smashes into the ground, and all the Russian troops are like, "What the hell?" And
But he
that's
still has
getting
just his mechanic jumpsuit on.
Yeah.
And a kitchen knife. But he's just there to have fun.
Yep. Just here to have fun. Some Halloween fun.
Halloween fun. Well, thank you all for listening, and we will see you next time as we dive into 4, 5, and 6. So hopefully after that we won't lose our sanity.
Yeah. I feel like I will.
Oh, you will. I know you will. That's what I'm excited for.
Because I've never watched those movies all the way through. Never.
Wow. Okay, this is going to be fun then.
I've seen 4, actually. I've seen 4 all the way through. 5 and 6, I've just seen random clips of.
Oh, 6 is so bad.
Is it? Oh, no.
It is so bad.
Oh, God.
It is the reason why there's like 4, 5 different timelines. Because it fucked it up so bad.
It became so stupid.
Yeah. They went too far into schlock. Yeah. It's almost like something that we would joke about for a movie. It's like, what if we put Michael Myers in the Temple of Doom?
That already sounds so fucking dumb. I can't wait for that.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you all for listening, and we'll see you next time.